The fact that I did not take my own advice and save my money, stick to one area, grind it for a little while, build up that money, build up the gear, things like that. I just went in and spent willy nilly, and didn't really learn the game either. But that was my biggest mistake, was just the run and gun, as you would call it in other games, and not appreciating and learning.
Hey everybody, this is the Dads of GP Playhouse, and we are doing a new series here on YouTube called Two Dads One Tacklebox, where we're taking brand new accounts from level 1 to level 5 for now without spending a real dollar or accepting a single shortcut.
Yeah, we're gonna go through and just kind of show you what rigs to build, the baits to use, sections of the map, what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy with these first 5 levels, and just kind of give you an easy XP roadmap to start out with.
So, like I was saying, just two dads, the starter rods, no premium, no DLC gear, no purchase currency or equipment that we've brought over from our main accounts. If you figure out how to do that, let us know though. We couldn't figure out how to do that. But just to kind of give you a good solid foundation for starting on this fishing planet journey, because let's just be honest, guys, the grind is real.
Absolutely. And another big thing is we really didn't have this readily available. Yeah, there's plenty of other videos that are out there that are guides for beginners, and they're just kind of start this, go grind this, you only do this, and that's it. So for us, we wanted something that teaches you how to play the game as well.
The other,
Now, to
the
be
other part about
honest,
that, the other part about that is most of those videos are like 5, 6 years old as well.
that is true. That is true. They are a little bit older. But the biggest thing is going to be pretty much the guy to walk us through everything, because I have ADHD really really bad. So I'm just kind of here and to throw in my 2 cents. Plays the game very technically sound. I play the game like an actual fisherman. So I've been fishing since I was knee high to a grasshopper, and I play this game that way. So what baits would work in real life and what hooks would work in real life, that's how I play it. And Gas will tell you it does not go my way that often in the game. There
Oh, I
is
mean,
a rhyme and reason for a lot of it.
I'm not going to say that it doesn't always go your way, because I think a lot of it, that base knowledge helps. That when you're catching a trout, certain things like use brighter colors, things like that. That stuff tends to work in this game, but there are other things that do not work in a realism factor, like in a realistic way. So we'll
Yeah.
kind of go over both ways. So, I mean, let's just be honest. Most of the guys and gals that play this game probably have fished it in real life at one point. They may have a little bit of base knowledge, some more than others. Like in our case, I fish in real life. I just haven't fished at the same level as Panic. But with that said, let's get into the new Lone Star. This is not even something that we were able to do when we started playing this game. This is brand new content for Fishing Planet. And honestly, Lone Star went from being just a place that you start at to we've gone back and fished at Lone Star because of how cool the lake is now.
Yeah, they added a few new things. The lake is actually a lot bigger. You can run a kayak or a boat now. I think it's only a kayak here at Lone Star. So you can run a kayak or you can rent a kayak if you do not have one available. And that's going to be a little bit later on once you get a little bit of money built up. Because to be honest, for some of the newer fish that they've added, like the Guadalupe bass and some of the other bass that they've added into this, you will need to rent the kayak to be able to catch that for the grind. But we'll go over that here as we go. But yeah, we're going to jump right into it, check out this new lake, and start trying to give you a little bit of tips. Do we want to take it over to?
Yeah, I think just go into the game screen.
There we go.
All right. So this is the first thing you see when you after you create your character. It throws you right into the beginner mission. Actually, I think it is 100% called it's called First Steps. The first mission is called First Steps, and it's gonna kind of walk you through a couple things to get you going. First off, it's going to teach you how to move WASD moves. Now, I'm going to throw a caveat in here too. We both play on PC, so like everything that we go through is going to be Steam related, but the things that I have found to be important for across the board, I will definitely give you the controller alternative as well. So, like, there's one thing in particular that I'm talking about right now, and when we go over it, I will throw the controller controls in there as well. But so let's just walk down to the dock.
Yeah, and I'll if you look down below in the description of this video, we will have a couple spreadsheets set up for you that'll be little guides as far as what fish you can catch here, things to use. There'll also be a gear guidebook of what to build, what to buy, what not to buy, when to buy it, do you really need it? And I will also create a spreadsheet of Steam controls or PC controls and platform controls for Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. That way, it's all readily available, and you can go and look at that as far as if you are playing on console. Now, I will say one caveat to that. As far as the Switch version, this lake does not look anything like this. It is the original Lone Star.
They are planning on updating that though, right?
I don't think so. I
Not
think they're planning on redoing the whole thing for Switch 2.
sure.
So the
That's
original Switch I don't think can handle the new update.
okay. All right. So, no, go ahead.
So the one thing you want to look at here, gas, if you'll go into your menu and bring up your inventory and kind of walk through the rod build. It's a pre-built. It's automatically built for the moment, but you do have your telefloat rod, which is going to be your float rods. This and your match rods later on will be the rods that you use with floats. You got your line set up, and then you do have the mini spin 800 uh, reel. So if you hover over each one, it will tell you what fish, as far as like the bread. It'll tell you what fish it can catch, the hook size. Then you get into the rod, it'll tell you your line weight for that rod. And then the lure or the reel will tell you your max drag, which is 2.75 pounds. So anything over 2.75 pounds is going to start to damage the reel. You can catch things bigger than that on here, but you do have to watch the sustainability, the durability of that piece of equipment. And that's what these little oil cans right here are, which is your durability.
Yeah. So, one of the things that you want to look at when you're building out a rod setup is, and Panic already touched on it, the line weight. So one of the things that I just use as a general rule is I try to get as close to the high number as I can. Not so much on this first ride, just because it's the one that they give you, and it works completely for what it's trying to do for you. But going forward, when you're putting together a rod setup, use this higher number on the line weight as your guide. So this one goes from a 2 to a 4 pound line weight, and then this reel has a max drag of 2.75 pounds. So basically, what that tells me is this reel is not the top end reel to use with this rod, because it only works with just under 3/4 of the potential that it has. So same with the weight, it's got 2 pound mono line on it. So you're not even maxing out the reel at this point. So things like that is what you need to keep in mind when you're building your reel out. I'm going to say one thing just because I think it's going to be a recurring point is when you are designing these reels, you want to, and I'll show you on the screen here in just a second. Your goal is to do one tick lower than max drag as far as when you're like actively fishing with it. One of the grinds that was really popular back in the day was the walleye grind at Emerald Lake. There's rods that you can set up to where you don't have to ever worry about breaking your line. What they call those perfect builds, perfect balance builds. That's your goal, no matter what. Now, some fish it's not possible because they have like pike have sharper teeth that kind of thing. They can snap your line just by biting through it, that kind of thing. But just use that as kind of a foundational viewpoint as far as when you're building out your rigs. The other thing that you can do at this screen here too is this little slider right here is the amount of line that you give between your bait and your float. So it starts you out at 31. Now, if you're in a really shallow spot, say you only have like 15 inches of water, you could drop this down to like 10 and fish closer to that. But we're going to keep it at 31 for now. But you can also go all the way up to 98 inches. But we're going to keep it at 31 for now, just because that's kind of where it wanted to have us when we started. But we'll go from there. And anything that we go over, guys, feel free to leave us comments on the videos and things like that. And we will watch those comments and be able to interact with you that way as well. So
It'll also, this is our first venture into these type of videos because we have noticed that there's not a whole lot of super in-depth videos. So give us feedback. What went well, what was good, what wasn't good, and we'll utilize that to get better as we go on. Just like in every aspect of life, you got to start somewhere, and a lot of times that beginning is not great, and it can be better. So, give us that feedback. One thing I do want to go back on is as far as the drag. I know you said you want to be one tick below the max. As a personal preference for someone like me, I go 2 clicks under the max on that drag, and it prevents wear and tear a little bit more so, and still gives you the strength on that fish or that rod to bring the fish in. But you've got two different play styles in one video. So never go full max drag and never go less than 2 clicks below, or else you'll spend way too much time trying to get a fish in if you're below that, or you'll break your rod instantly or line instantly if you're full max drag. So yeah, on this, we're gonna go ahead and go through this first mission and let's get started.
So it's going to walk you through catching your first fish, right? So right now, if you notice how the line is being held by your left hand, your rod is being held by your right hand. You start out with a pitch cast. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. It's just going to kind of throw it out there for you. I'm not sure what the button is on the controller for this, but you can zoom
It is
in.
the right stick. Oh, for zooming in is R, your right bumper, your front bumper.
So I did that a little quick, but if you watch, we'll do it again. I just didn't want to miss the first fish. But if you watch, you have a little float icon here on the right hand side of the screen underneath your bait. When that float goes underneath the line and starts trailing off in one direction or the other, that's when you're going to strike. Now, it also gives you a bell to let you know that there's a fish around your line. So, but
And eventually I will turn that off on my screen, on my gameplay, because as I've said before on our Twitch, I fish like a real man and it's by sight. Sorry, that's a little throwback to our Twitch channel where I called Gas out for using it. And he's not wrong. It gives you that in the game. Use it. If you are someone that gets distracted easily, which I do, so I miss a lot of fish because I don't use it. If I were to start using it, I'd probably catch more fish when we're doing our live streams and things like that over on Twitch. And it would be way more entertaining. So, yeah, there is a little ding that happens. I heard it for the first time just now in a long time that we've been playing this. I forgot all about it. So it is nice. It is very nice. It alerted me, hey, something's nibbling on that line. And then that tells you to watch that bobber. And like Gas said, you can either look up in the corner where that bobber icon is, or you can look directly at the bobber. And I have to say this, Gas, mine bluegill is bigger than your bluegill
of course it is.
by 0.007 of a pound. Seven
So,
one thousand. That's 7/1000ths.
RNG was on your side that time.
So it's gonna have us catch another fish here.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I don't prefer to fish with the pitch method. When you're fishing just around the dock like this, real close, it's fine. But on keyboard and mouse, if you press F11, it will change it back over here. It might. I guess it's going to make me do it for now. But F11, you can actually aim and cast. And on controller, if you hold the right
It's
stick
the right
in,
stick. Yep.
yeah, it'll give you the same option. So, but I guess it wants me to do this for now.
Yeah, we're gonna
First chance I get, I'm gonna get off of this though.
Yeah. So for the first little bit, we are going to be following mission directly. So right now we are on the second step, which is catch another fish.
So we got a different kind of species here, golden shiner. So we've already caught 2 of the species that Lone Star offers. And that's part of the grind too. You want to find where each type of fish is. A lot of these panfishes are just going to be right off
They're
the
going to be
bank.
tiny.
Yeah.
But for that one there, Gas received $20 for that fish. I received 21 for mine because it was bigger again. So at this moment, it's going to have us move over to the beaver dam. So what you'll do is you'll open up your
Welcome to the lake.
Oh, Gas, instead of opening up the map.
I did open up the map. It was already open.
Okay. And then you'll click over and you can actually select the location and it will take you there.
All these little spots like this are all fast travels. And Beaver Dam has its own fast travel.
Yes.
All right. So he wants us to talk. They want us to talk to the local barbecue vendor. This is all new for us. It doesn't actually talk. Oh, this is different. I remember when we first did this back in the day, we had to go to this pile of dirt and
dig up the worms yourself.
Yeah.
Which that pile of dirt was right up here in the back by this tree.
So now we just ask for worms from the barbecue sales guy. I don't know if I love the fact that we're getting worms from a barbecue vendor. I don't know what that says about his barbecue, but he is in Texas, so it's probably good barbecue.
You've never had barbecue worms?
Mm-mm.
They're delicious.
I'll take your word for it. So claim the worms. This is one of those things that I don't use most of the time, but to press Z to swap the bread for red worms, apparently it's just going to do it for me. And it did. So
which is very
the
nice.
other way to do it is just go into your inventory, go to your live baits here, and you can switch out your baits this way.
And I will say one of the nice things, so if you press Z, once you get more than just 1 or 2 things in your inventory as far as baits, Z will go to the next one in line, and you'll have to go, I do believe X. Nope. So it's just Z. So Z will take you all the way through the baits that you have. It's just a quick change as far as the baits go. But once you get further on into the game, you're going to have so many more baits to where going into your inventory is a little bit quicker to swap up your bait because you can go in and scroll down to exactly what you want and swap it a little bit quicker. All right, so it wants us to cast near the lily pads.
So we're trying to catch some crappies. I know it looks like it's spelled crappies, and I will call them crappies just to irritate Panic sometimes. But we're going to try to catch some crappies, and we're going to stay with the pitch method for now, waiting for a bite.
Oh, you got one.
And we get half-pound white crappie, $23, 13 XP. We're already almost to level 2, maybe 1 or 2 more fish, and we'll be there.
Yeah. So you're about to learn something new, Gas. We don't have to do F11.
You can hit X. Okay.
You can hit X. So we just learned something new. We've been doing F11 for the longest time.
And again, on controller, that's going to be hitting your right stick in until it changes.
Yep.
Which, honestly, what's nice is I don't remember the tutorial mission walking you through this part when we were doing it back in the day. We just had to figure it out on our own.
I don't think it
So
did.
it's nice that it's teaching you guys as we go now. So I'm going to go ahead and cast out there. Now, we haven't mentioned it before, but anytime you cast out, you want to reel in just a little bit after you cast. That way it locks the reel in place. So that was a good example right there. Anytime you start hearing the guitar string like tension of the line, it's a good idea to adjust your drag.
You won that one. All my fish
I
have been
did?
bigger until this one. Yes.
Well, I just have the bigger trophies, I guess. So, trophy, you're going to want to, one of the things that you could do, I'm not going to mark it right now just because we're still in the tutorial mission, but for your grinds and things like that, there's easy things that you can do on your map to set waypoints for yourself. And like, especially like when you get into like unique grinding and things like that, you can mark the last fish that you caught. And we leveled up. So we actually leveled up almost a half a level too much. So here's one of the first things that you can see. It's going to tell this game it's a free to play game. There is an online store, a marketplace, DLC, premium currencies, all the good stuff. Microtransaction fun, right? Now, you can play this game from level 1 to 110 currently without using premium or any of the DLCs or packs or anything like that. So, but what it does is it will get you more experience. It will get you more money. And when you get bait coins as a reward, it'll get you more bait coins. As you can see, they're double right now on the bait coins and the in-game currency, just money. So, but we're not going to buy premium right now. We are doing this in a 100% free-to-play way.
Now, one caveat. Once we get further along in the game, you will notice that you get one free spin on PC, a wheel spin, and you have a chance of winning premium during that wheel spin, which it'll give you 1 day of premium or 3 days of premium. The more you log in, it's kind of like a daily spin type deal. The more days you log in a row, the better the rewards get. It's a chance to unlock maps, get day passes to higher level maps to where you can go to that map for the day and fish a map that you're not leveled up for. Now, the only difficulty there is you may not have the gear to go fish that map.
Right.
So, but down the road, it'll get to the point where you get day passes to map and it doesn't cost you anything to go to it. And you don't have to unlock it. So, this game has some really cool mechanics to it that make it easy for free to play because unlike Mr. Moneybags that I'm playing with, some of us don't have the means to go willy-nilly and purchase everything. I'm just kidding. That was just a joke on gas. But in reality, it is true. A lot of people that are playing this game, they play it because it is free and it is a way to play a game without spending money and breaking the bank to do something that you enjoy.
So, what it's wanting us to do now is sell the fish. So we're going to hit escape, go to the local map, and because we only have 4.4 pounds in our keep net, like that's the max that we can have, and we're at almost 3 pounds now, it wants us to leave, and we're going to claim our XP and our money. All right, so we got another bait coin for completing the tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and claim that. And we also got a rod holder and some more line that will go up to a 6 pound test. That should tell you that there's probably another setup about to happen, especially because this rod holder also holds 2 rods, 2 reels, and 2 lines. So the game's already walking you down the path of having multiple setups. So we'll claim those. And microtransaction fun, it's going to tell you what it wants you to buy. And then we're going to go back to our missions. Now it starts the adventure missions. So the next one is back at Lone Star. So I'm going to go ahead and track that mission. It's the only other one that we have to right now. As you unlock more maps, you will get more missions to utilize to complete for XP and money. So right now we've got $4,717. I'm not even going to spend anything yet. I don't believe. I don't remember what this mission is, so we'll have to go back in. So you notice you have all the different maps and everything. It'll show if they're grayed out. That means you don't have access to them yet. That means you're not at a high enough level yet. So we're just going to go back to Lone Star. Travel cost is 0. Basic unlimited license. Yes. Do you want to talk about the licenses real quick, Panic? Maybe not. So as far as the basic and the advanced license, there are going to be different.
Sorry, I was on mute. I had a coughing fit.
There are differences from lake to lake. Yeah, if you want to talk about it, go ahead.
Yeah, so there are differences from lake to lake as far as the licenses go. On the basic, you are not allowed to catch at night. And if you look here, there's license rules. So the fish that you have to release are the ones that are listed there. So your bluegill trophy, red ear sunfish trophy, warmouth trophy, spotted bass, which is a common, threadfin shad trophy, the Guadalupe bass, common, trophy, and unique all have to be released under the basic fishing license. There's no take restrictions, so you can take anything that's not those release fish. And the other thing is you will not be able to fish at nighttime. So once it starts getting dark and moves into that nighttime frame, it will force you to move on to the next day. One thing that has changed as far as the licensing for Lone Star is now boat fishing is allowed under the advanced license. So when you purchase the advanced license, there's no release restrictions. You can keep everything. You'll be allowed to fish at night, and you can fish out of a boat. So, and I do believe we're not going to spend anything on the advanced license right now because this mission that we're about to do here at Lone Star will actually give us an advanced license.
Gotcha.
For the next portion of the mission. So right now we're going to go back it down into Lone Star and start this next mission. I do apologize. I had to cough, so I had to mute the microphone. So that's why it took so long to come back. So here you're going to see that it's going to ask us to go to the Lakeside Grill area, which is actually a new area for this map, which I think on the original map, it was just the bridge. And then it's going to have us talk to Nate.
Yeah, it started me out at the Home Sweet Home. So I'm going to open up my map, and I'm going to fast travel to the Lakeside Grill. Nate is just in this little camper, right?
Hi. Hey there.
All right. Mind helping catch a few panfish for dinner? Meanwhile, I'll try to find my frying pan. Okay. Oh, and we're going to get some grasshoppers as a result of this mission. All right. So he marked a few spots for us. We got one up there at the top and a couple down south. So we're going to fish the top one first. It's nice. They give us little waypoints on the compass as well. That way you can kind of follow along with some of these missions.
And I do believe those are new.
It is. What I'm seeing so far is the new player experience is so much better than it used to be. So I'm going to hit F11 and we're going to throw out, so I think this spot is just right in this area right here.
And I know he said F11, but you can also press X.
Sorry, old school.
And one thing we didn't talk about, so adjusting your drag for these is going to be plus and minus on PC. On a controller, it's up and down, I do believe. I do play a little bit on the Switch, so I kind of know some of the...
All right, so we're running one in here.
And you caught right off the bat.
A little threadfin shad, which was one of the fish that we needed for the mission.
Oh, your fish are different than mine. Oh, no, they're not. No, they're not. I see it. It's ore.
Yeah. Was
So it's either or.
is it the warmouth?
Yeah, the warmouth or threadfin.
So I definitely
And I
caught the
caught a
smaller.
I caught a trophy bluegill on my first cast. So
Of course you did.
because missions hate me, and if y'all want to see the rage that comes out for me on a daily, come hang out with us over on Twitch on Sundays, Wednesdays, or Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be a good way to come get to know us outside of just these videos where we sound like robots, because I promise we're not robots. And I do believe these videos will get better. We'll get used to this being teachers.
Slower pace.
Yeah.
So I stayed in the same spot and I caught another one of the fish.
Yeah, I just caught the whatever the second one was. The golden
sunfish.
shiner or the
I just caught a golden shiner.
Yeah, I caught that one.
I'm gonna stay here one more time and see if I can catch a sunfish right here. So you can see on my screen right now, this fish may be deeper or closer to the surface right now. I'll try adjusting the leader length using O and P when the tackle is not in the water. The cast before this, the leader was a little short, a little long actually, because the bobber wasn't going completely level in the water. So got a blacktail shiner here. So, and we did a bobber challenge. Perform certain number of successful strikes in a row. I believe that's 5, if I'm counting correctly. Maybe 6. So
yeah, and those are almost like little achievements and things like that throughout the game. There'll be random challenges that you don't know that you're doing that will give you rewards and stuff randomly throughout the game. And eventually we will start catching trash and we'll get rewarded for cleaning up the lake.
Yep. So I fast travel down to the Home Sweet Home waypoint, and I'm going to go down. This is actually the original Lone Star Lake. Is anything... You see that bridge in the distance right there? You can actually ride your boat underneath that bridge and go to the other part of the lake now. It's just going to be up this way. So anything north of this bridge is all new for Lone Star. But we're going to go down here. There's a little wooden bridge that goes across over here. And that's where we're going to try to catch these. It's wanting me just to cast out into the middle right here. So that's what I'm going to do. But what I will do is try to cast as close to those lily pads over there as I can, because that's a good thing to start getting used to. Is there are certain types of fish that will be partial to ambushing, and they'll come out of the covers, like they're camouflage or hidey holes kind of things. There's a trophy bluegill. Trophies and uniques are great for leveling up. You get a lot more XP and a lot more money for them.
We'll say this map is really well detailed. Watching the beaver swim out in the water, the fish jumping.
It's one of the most well-designed maps in the game now.
Yeah. Like if you would have noticed back when we first started at the very beginning of the original tutorial, if you look down into the water, you could see the bass swimming in the water.
All right, so we got a trophy red ear sunfish, which also leveled us up to level 3. But here's just a little caveat on it too. Like trophy red ear sunfish gives us $71.35 XP. The trophy bluegill was like $41 and like 17 XP. So not all XP is given out. It's not like perfect ratios. I mean, it has something to do with the weight. It has something to do with whether it's a common, a trophy, or a unique, those kind of things. But some species of fish just give you more XP and more dollars than others in general. That's why you'll hear people talk about, for example, the walleye grind at Emerald Lake. It's an easier fish to catch. they use it for the grind a lot of times. Not so much now. This is more of like an old school way to do it, but that was the grind that like gave you consistent XP for how easy the fish was to catch.
And I know we say old school, people still do it. People still do that grind, and it does still work. But since they've updated with this back to basics update for Fishing Planet, they've added in fish at almost every lake that gives you that one fish that could be used as a grind towards leveling up, which is nice. And just a heads up, I still have not finished this mission. So I'm still sucking it up over here.
All right,
I just need the one, whatchamacallit.
Which were the sunfish?
The threadfin shad or warmouth.
Oh, so that fish also leveled me up to level 3, which, as you can see, we unlocked a new map or new waterway called the Lesny Via Fishery in the Czech Republic. So just because you unlock a new place does not mean that you go there immediately, especially at the early levels where money is a premium. So I'm going to go ahead and claim this. I'm going to get another microtransaction suggestion, but I did finish the mission, so I'm going to go ahead and start heading back over.
Good for you.
We're going back over to the Lakeside Grill.
Hey.
And we're going to talk to Nate again. So we got to go get a pan from our house.
Which this would be a good time to show off the house.
So we're going to open up the tablet or the map, and we're going to go back down to the Home Sweet Home waypoint. The house is also something new in the game. You guys, if you are on keyboard and mouse, I'm not sure what it is on controller. Panic might be able to help out with that, but you don't have to walk around with your rod out the whole time. I know phrasing, but if you hit 0, you can put away whatever you have in your hands.
And I do not know on controller on that one.
So we're in our house. One of the cool things about the house is that you can actually put like some of your trophies up in the house. So let's see. And some of the monster fish, that kind of thing. Grayling, ghost peacock bass. Let's see if they have like a... I doubt that how they have like bluegill, and it's not every fish that you can put up here. Like the pike slasher is one of the monster fishes. The terror tarpon, grouperzilla, all monster fishes, but you can display them in your... That's funny, happy bass.
As opposed to the sad bass.
Yeah. Pick up the frying pan in the kitchen. All right. We got the cast iron pan, and we're going to go back over to Nate at the Lakeside Grill.
Hey, I got my pan.
So we finished the mission. Pan full of fish. Got $700 and 25 grasshoppers. So another new bait. All right. So now it's going to show you how to... Nate wants to invite his buddy over before he gets vended. Head over to Randy and deliver the invitation. Track your mission. Use your tablet to follow the hints. Fast travel between pins on the map. All right, so we're gonna go over to the kayak rental place and talk to Nate's buddy, which is just this guy right here.
Now, one thing we're gonna talk about real quick, guys. If you'll go into your menu and go to shop. Go to rods. So I will say we've got 2 slots. So up until we hit level 3, we were unable to buy anything past that telefloat 14.9. So now we are able to buy a spinning rod, which will open up lures and all that stuff for us to go away from the float rod for catching bass, which, I mean, you can catch bass and stuff on the float rod. This just gives you another method to work on. So if you look up, I think we both have right around the same amount of money, right around that $7,000 range. This is the one spot where I personally would recommend buying the value spin and a reel to go with it.
Now, question, because I know some stuff costs more, but do the rods cost more in the map shops, or are they less expensive if you go out to the global shop?
I can tell you right now because I don't have anything in my keep net because I had to sell it outside of my one tiny little fish. So if I go into the shop, into the rod, they are the same price.
Okay.
So $12.50. So I'm gonna go to my handy dandy spreadsheet here to my rig build, and I'm gonna look and go for the spinning reel. It actually has us wait till we get to the elemental,
Which
at
is level 4.
Yes. Which gives us that 3 to 7 pound range.
Yeah.
Which is not a huge difference, but it is a little bit taller rod. So we'll leave that completely up to the individuals playing. I wouldn't go all crazy and just go start buying stuff just because you've got a little bit of money now. I would wait until you can buy the stuff that you need that will work for the missions that you're fishing.
And I'll say this too, just because we're saying not to buy things, that is just us trying to give you the most efficient way to do this. If you want to buy something, go right ahead. The only thing that it really costs you is time, especially at this lower level. Now, if you get into some of the higher level stuff, you can spend all your money on gear, and then you have to come back down and fish some of these lower levels to remake some of the money. Because what happens when you have enough money to buy a rod, a reel, the line, and a lure, but you can only buy the lure one time, and you get to where you're fighting a fish and it breaks your line, you're out of that lure. You don't get that lure back until you buy more. So sometimes being patient in this game is definitely a virtue. But like I said, it only costs you time. Realistically, you can always go back and make more money at one of the lower level places. But we're just trying to give you the best advice that we can.
Hey,
All right, so I'm talking to the guy at the kayak place. He gave me
Well, it gives you a
new
chance
mission.
to win a marker buoy, which we talked about earlier.
So we're gonna get in the kayak, which unfortunately this
Now-
is gonna cost money.
Now, I will say there is one nice thing about this game. It does allow you to rent the kayaks and the boats. And a lot of times the kayak is geared towards that lake. Actually, I think they've started moving to this Outrider trolling kayak, which is the newest one, which is a pedal drive. I think this is the one that's available to rent at all lakes now when you can rent a kayak or a boat. They went away from the paddle style kayaks. So it's $100 game money, super cheap. It's worth it. And typically you will make that back in the first 2 or 3 fish that you catch.
Yeah. I'm actually going to not rent it yet, and I'm going to go and sell my fish because I have 3 pounds in my net already.
Okay.
So just going to go right back into Lone Star, and we're going to go back over there and rent the kayak now.
So one thing I will say, before you start buying more rods and reels and lures and stuff
Hi
like
there.
that, the first upgrade that you really want to look at is your keep net. Upgrading that keep net to a higher capacity.
And I'll check real quick. That might be something you have to do outside of outside of the lake. Oh, it's saying that we can upgrade it now, but I'm gonna wait till level 4.
That's what I'm saying. If you wait until level 4, I think you get the large. Is that right, or is it the medium?
It's the medium.
Okay, and I think that gives you 15 pounds, 20 pounds,
Yep.
15 pounds.
It's 15 pounds.
All right. I'll let you get caught up. But
not gonna lie, I really like the addition of the pedal kayak, because when you were before, if you have one of the older kayaks, then your person could run out of stamina, and that doesn't happen on the pedal kayak now. So you can just kind of cruise around now.
yeah, it's pretty nice.
We're smashing the dam. All right, so we the waterway under the bridge here. Now it wants us to go back and talk to Randy. Of course, his name's Randy.
Okay. Yeah, so we move into the mission after that, which is going to be great. Yeah, you do get the captain rower.
So all those little bait coins that you get for completing those missions, they will add up. Excuse me.
And they do allow you to buy like different versions of lures and rods and line and things like that, which is nice.
Hey.
All right, so we got a marker buoy.
Yeah, which is going to be great here lately. So now it's going to start our newest mission, which is the Bass Spinning Guide. So where I said you can buy one now or you can wait, you have to buy one now. So you actually have to go ahead and build a spinning rod setup. So go into your shop.
You don't have
at
to.
this moment.
You could
wait and not do this mission.
You could grind some fish out real quick and get to, is it level 4 that it wanted us to get
level
to?
4, which I think I was already there, so I bought the elemental.
Okay, so I'll fish for just a second. It shouldn't take more than a couple, 2 or 3 fish, especially if we get a trophy.
Yeah.
Go.
I will say that's one thing this game is actually great at, is kind of walking you through on all the missions at the maps. Now, it's not going to tell you what bait to use or what rod to use or what lure to use, but it is going to tell you what you need to catch, and that's a quick way to grind XP. And I think at level 5 you start unlocking the dailies.
Is that when they unlock?
Yeah, and the daily missions are a great way to grind XP.
The daily missions are also something fairly recent update to the game.
And you get 3 different daily missions per day. It's a really fast way to level up.
You get 3 different daily missions if you are premium and part of a club.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that once you hit level 5, as far as creating a club, joining a club, things like that, fishing with friends.
So we caught a couple lower XP fish. So if you're going to grind panfish at this map, it looks like the sunfish are the best ones for XP. Unless you catch a trophy. I just caught a trophy threadfin shad. It gives me 14 XP. So next fish, regardless, should give me level 4. And then we will go and we'll sell our fish and go from there. Actually might buy the better keep net as well at that point. when I buy my next reel rod and reel setup.
Which will be a nice little bonus.
Yeah, you go from 4.4 pounds in your keep net to 15 pounds.
Yes.
All right, so there we go. We are level 4 now. We also unlock mud water at level 4. So if you're keeping track, that's 3 different waterways that we've unlocked now. And as you can see, the next level, at level 5, we will unlock Rocky Lake. So, but Mudwater is in Missouri. There's still a lot of pan fishing there, that kind of thing. But sometimes it's
does
nice to
open
go
up
to different
gar.
places. Yeah. Some catfish.
Yep.
Technically, there's catfish here, but we're not to that point of the setups yet.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go and sell my fish real quick. Get the spinning set up. Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna get
So
to show them
at level
the
4,
wheel
you
spin.
get your spin.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do my first wheel spin. And so the one caveat that we're gonna throw out there, that we are doing free to play. This is something you get 1 spin a day, free to play. These 2 right here are 1 days of premium and 3 days of premium. So if myself or Panic gets premium on our wheel spins, that's still free to play. So,
yes,
but we're going to spin real quick now. We got 580 credits this time. So, once a day, you can come back and spin that wheel. So, you can get some free money. You can get a bait coin or the premium for a day or 3 days. All right. So, let's go to rods, a spinning setup. We're going to get the elemental. So we can max it at 7 pounds. We're going to go to the reel, and max drag is 3.5 pounds at that one. What? So I guess that's what we got to do for now.
yes, and then yeah, you can buy whatever reel you want.
I actually might just buy the cheap one for now, because level 5 is what the big upgrade is. I think that's what I'm going to do.
It's not a bad thought process.
All right. It wants me to buy that reel, that Inspire cast, but I'm going to wait. What lure does it tell you to buy?
It's a mini bass jig. If you scroll down, it should tell you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter any of those. It made me buy the one with a bait coin at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is fine. I bought the red one.
I'll do the same.
That one.
Actually, I'll do the pink one. That way.
Yeah.
So spending 1 bait coin. And did it ask anything else?
Nope, that's it. Did you do line? Oh, you got to do the reel. It's making you do the other reel for the mission, which I mean, you have the money for, so you should be good to go.
So you didn't put like a grub or a shad or anything on the bass jig?
Nope, bass jig, and it's a pretty quick mission once you get over to the spot.
And we're gonna do the keep net. I'm gonna put the higher capacity keep net on there.
Oh wow! So yeah, for this mission, you're gonna go and catch bass, which is great. So rent your kayak, go catch you some bass.
All right.
Hi there.
Someone wants to go just right here. Okay. And guys, when you're in your kayak, you can hit Z to anchor it down. Adjusted the drag a little bit. I'm at 1 tick underneath full, and we caught our first bass. Young largemouth bass. Guys, if you're going to grind at Lone Star, grinding bass is definitely going to be where you do your damage there. So one cool thing about putting down marker buoys. So you're going to pull your map up. You're going to hit this little plus sign down at the bottom. And it'll automatically set a mark for the last fish you caught. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And it's going to put that marker there. You'll see it when I pull the map down. You can also you can't color it right now because you have to have premium, I believe, to color it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but regardless, we have a marker down for our young largemouth bass. What kind of lure you caught it on, what time of the day it was, what the weather was, and then how big and how much it weighed, or how long and how much it weighed. Future reference, I wouldn't mark this one because it's a young largemouth bass. I don't mark anything that's lower than a trophy. So I'll do a trophy or a unique. The only time that I will do that mark for like common is if it's the highest level of that fish that it is, and that if that fish is good for an XP grind.
This one was mainly marked for mission purposes only.
Yeah, just tutorial purposes. All right, so it wants us to go down here now, and then up there. Okay. So let's put the rod away, unanchor.
Actually, where you've got that mark right there, you can catch your other two.
Really?
So that whole area right there around the bridge, you can catch everything that you need to catch. So I know in the map it will show you and tell you to like different waypoints. That whole backside is set up ready to go.
It's funny. Is it just wanting you? It's just wanting us to do straight reels, right?
Yes. I did not. I actually twitched it because straight reel takes forever and
Yeah,
is dumb.
I caught the last one on stop and go.
Yeah, any kind of bait movement, which is something we'll talk about once we get in more into spinner fishing, like spinning rod fishing, casting, lure fishing. Whatever you got's pretty large.
Yeah, it's fighting a little bit. There we go. Guadalupe. I got a trophy Guadalupe. Yeah.
That's 56 XP. That's a good chunk of XP.
Yep. So I believe there's a unique of the trophy or of the Guadalupe bass.
Yes,
There is. There is. That's the only unique you can get on this map is the unique of this fish.
Are we sure? Yes.
Yes.
And the only trophies are the crappie, warmouth, threadfin shad, red ear sunfish, Guadalupe bass, and bluegill are the only trophies on this map. So the great thing about this map is once you get done with this tutorial, which are these basic missions that it's telling you to do right now to kind of walk you through the different fish that you can catch here and how to play the game, essentially. It opens up all the exploration missions and those things for this lake. But what's great is you'll have pretty much caught every fish that's needed for the missions on this lake. For your exploration, your, let's see here, mastery, well, collecting. So the collecting is going to be, that's going to be a fun one. So panfish trophies, but that doesn't have to be done just here. It can be at any lake, which is great. Oh, but like for Lone Star, you'll get Lone Star Exploration 1, Lone Star Exploration 2, and then the Lone Star Trial, which are different exploring. It forces you to explore the map.
So I caught a second trophy Guadalupe.
Heck yeah.
So it actually leveled me up to level 5, and we have officially unlocked Rocky Lake, which is going to be your first lake that you can really dive off into trout fishing, which is in real life some of my favorite fishing. But again, got a little bit of, got a bait coin, got a little extra cash. And as you can see, to the next level, it's 175 XP. So we have actually already completed goal 1 of this video, which was go from level 1 to level 5. So,
Yes.
but we're going to keep going, and we're going to do so. We'll try to at least finish the beginner missions for Star, and we'll go from there. So, since I know that I'm catching the water over here, I'm going to go ahead and actually set a marker down. I'm going to go back over to this other spot because I caught my largemouth over there. Hopefully, I can catch either a largemouth or a spotted bass over here and get this this finished.
Which would be nice.
I apologize if you guys hear the coughs. I'm a little under the weather today. Some kind of allergies or something going on. We've had so much rain down here, and it's got all kinds of stuff stirred up in the air.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the main goal for this first video was to give you an introduction to Lone Star and just kind of give you a guided walkthrough on the missions, show you the missions, show you what to expect, give you tips on what to build, what not to do that we would wait on this free to play. So we're gonna do videos pretty much for each lake. For the first 30 levels. And then once we get to level 30, there'll be a little bit quicker videos, as in just more of an XP grind.
Hi. Hey there.
And getting us set up for
Hi.
bigger fishing.
So we got some casting spoons as a result of that mission. And we got a Happy Bass mounted trophy. And we also got a firmware update for our map. So it just kind of shows you more detailed for the water.
Oh yeah, look at that topography now.
Way cooler. I wonder if they did this for all the maps.
I do believe they did.
Go up here. We're going to mount this bass. There we go. And we got some carp feeder bait. Or that's the next mission.
Yep, that's the next mission.
At Lesney Villa.
So at this point, you can go back into your missions, and it'll show you the exploration. Go into the exploration. And there's your Lone Star missions there.
Yep. Which we are, so funny enough, it actually has counted all the fish that we've already caught.
Yep.
And should make it a lot easier for you guys to finish out the missions. So between the 3 missions, I just have to catch 6 more fish, different species.
And so getting to level 5, this is one thing we want to stop and talk about real quick. Getting to level 5 now allows you to add friends. I can go in and add gas and request friendship, and boom, we're friends. And now you can also create a club
for 50,000 credits.
Yes. So we're not creating that yet.
But it's pretty cool.
We don't have the money.
You can edit your logos and all that stuff on there.
Yes. Another thing that opened up for you at level 3 is the sport, which is your competitions. Now, this is going to limit you. You're only going to be able to fish at the ones that are open for you. So like the Mudwater River, you can go do the school bass. That'll be from 2 to 4 today, 2 to 4 p.m. your time, or whatever time it shows for your local time. Like for us, it'll be 2 to 4 p.m. And It's an entry fee of $200, and catch all types and forms of bass. And you can use whatever tackle and whatever lures you want. And it's a 30-minute competition.
That's
and you
one of
win.
the unrestrictive competitions.
Yes. So, and another thing at level 5 that opened up is right now we are in the anniversary event for this for Fishing Planet. So in your missions, you now have the event mission for Lone Star, which is Worms of Wisdom and that kind of thing, which will give you a anniversary spoon and a free pond pass to Falcon Lake up in Oregon. So, and you'll have access to the premium tackle in the game store that meets the level requirements for that location.
And if you guys are wondering about Falcon Pass in Oregon, that's another big trout spot. It's kind of like a more advanced version of Rocky Lake.
Very much so. Well, for Lone Star, we're gonna look at working to finish up the missions that are there. Now you'll notice over to the side, it will actually give you the mission that you're tracking, which is great. I wonder. So, Gas, you got what, the green sunfish for your exploration 1 left?
Yeah, that's all I have left.
Yeah, which is great. Actually on Lone Star Exploration 2, which is the smallmouth buffalo and the channel catfish, which are both ridiculously hard to do right now without a bottom rod.
without a feeder rod.
Yeah, a feeder rod or a bottom rod.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we can turn around and buy a feeder rod right now, but there's no point. At least not yet.
Well,
I think the one thing at Les Nevia that's going to teach us in our next video is how to properly use the feeder rods, which is something that we didn't learn.
True.
Down the road. So that's a little teaser of video 2 at Les Nevia. We're going to learn how to use feeder rods and get to explore a whole new lake, which is a good time.
Oh.
Now, I will go ahead and tell y'all, just because we have one mission tracked, that's the mission it will show you your progress on, but it will keep up with your other missions for this lake. So if you complete something during another mission, it will update those other tasks as you go.
One little comment challenge that I want to throw out there is maybe you're starting out for the first time on Fishing Planet and you were searching and found our video and you learned something new. Let us know what you learned, or if we clarified anything for you, let us know. And then also, if maybe you've been playing Fishing Planet for a while and you decided that you wanted to do a whole new account or a whole new playthrough, kind of like what we're doing, starting fresh, let us know if you're start fresh and play along with us. Our goal is to put one of these videos out a week for now, and we're still going to be playing Fishing Planet on our streams at GP Playhouse on Twitch, but we're going to be playing on our main account over there. So we won't be doing the early game grind over there like what we're doing here.
Over there is more or less, over on Twitch, we kind of give each other a hard time, have a good time, enjoy our community, sit there and chat, and try to complete some of the missions that we have available to us over on that side. But we'd love to have you come over there and hang out with us. If you want to see a little bit different side outside of the teacher version of us, we're a little bit more chaotic, a little less structured, and we have a good time. And at the end of this video, we will put up a graphic that will show you kind of our schedule over there. One thing that we do over on Twitch on Fridays is what we call Rippin and Sippin, and that's where Gas and I have a few drinks and fish like the hillbillies that we are.
Sometimes it's more than a few drinks, but I digress.
Sometimes it's a lot more than a few drinks, but it's a good time.
Oh, we got a bite.
I will say one thing about the tutorial: the little what do you call it? The ratio, the bite ratio, or the bite mechanics, or whatever they're called.
Frequency.
In that, frequency are turned up a little bit. Once you get out of those tutorial missions, it can get a little bit more difficult. And if you can think of the word that I'm thinking of, throw that in the comments for us. And I'll make sure to remember it for the next video, because I can't think of it right now.
Oh, this is a good example. Like trying to complete a mission, and all you need is one specific fish to complete the mission. Sometimes it can take a few minutes, but you're getting XP along the way because you're catching other fish along the way. So
XP and money, and those are always great things.
very necessary.
Very, very necessary.
We have finished Lone Star 1, Lone Star Exploration 1, caught the green sunfish, and we got a new float. So we'll go in and we'll track the next mission,
which is going to be Exploration 2.
Actually, I think I'm gonna track the trial, just because it's more realistic to being able to catch all of them right now.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Without the feeder or bottom rods.
Well, I will say the catfish, if you look at this new map at the geography, the real dark blue water that's the deepest point of the lake. That's where you're going to look for the catfish. And you're going to run it about 98 inches on your leader length all the way down to the bottom. And pet food is going to be the bait that you're going to want to use for that. Just grinding, I'm already level 6.
Nice.
Just sitting here trying to catch catfish.
Have you caught a buffalo or a catfish yet?
No, not yet. That's what I'm working on, is the channel cat. I don't really know exactly where the smallmouth buffalo is going to be located. I'm assuming in the same area for the most part. I'm catching the shit out of some panfish.
Yeah. Trying to catch the yellow bass in here.
Look at something here. What lure are you using? That bass jig's a pretty good little lure.
Yeah. I'm using pink purple one, the official color. Caught a spotted bass, so that was one of the fish I needed to catch. So like Panic was saying, it looks like anything north of the bridge is going to be real bass fishing friendly for you. So if you're wanting to grind for a little while on Lone Star, which there's nothing wrong with that. You can stay at Lone Star as long as you want to. After today, we will be going to other lakes or other waterways, but if you want to stay at Lone Star to level 10, by all means, do it. But if you do that, I recommend trying to fish for bass. They're going to be your most consistent XP.
That is 100% accurate.
Generally, the bigger fish that you can catch are going to give you the most XP and the most dollars.
And the missions can get to be a little tedious, which is fine. You just have to have patience. And like we said before, the XP and the money is what adds up. So trying to complete certain missions, you may unlock other lakes for further on down the road. But the key is to not just get overly excited and travel there immediately, because it does cost money. Yeah, just a trip to Rocky Lake can cost up to right around $5,000 in game, and early on in the game, that's a lot of your money.
While we're working on these missions, we want to go over some of the common mistakes or mistakes that we may have made when we first started playing the game.
Yeah, one of my biggest mistakes that I made when I first started out with this game was the fact that I did not take my own advice and save my money. Stick to one area, grind it for a little while, build up that money, build up the gear, things like that. I just went in and spent willy nilly and didn't really learn the game either. That was another issue with it as well is I didn't sit down and spend time learning the game, learning the mechanics. I just tried to use my real world knowledge of actual fishing, which does work. That's one thing about this game that is great, that it's pretty accurate as far as the mechanics and everything of these fish. Now there are little caveats, certain things that that you'll notice if you're an avid fisherman that aren't 100% accurate. But that was my biggest mistake was just the run and gun as you would call it in other games, not and not appreciating and learning this great game the way it's meant to be played. I bought the DLCs. I've spent the money on the extra stuff to give myself a leg up instead of grinding and getting the satisfaction. So like just doing this right now and getting to level 6 has been the most fun I've had in a long time on the game. And that's playing it free to play and playing it the way that a lot of people are going to play it. Some of your younger generation or your younger kids, your younger adults that may not have the funds to spend money to go buy premium content or buy more bait coins or buy DLC packages. They're going to play this game this way, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way the game was meant to be played, was free to play with some, hey, we're going to let you spice it up a little bit. Here's some offerings and things for us to make a little extra money. So yeah, I mean, that's probably my biggest mistake was not taking my
time. I think my biggest mistake was that I ignored the missions. Like I focused on the specific like meta grinds that I had gotten some research on, like the walleye grind at Emerald. I know we've mentioned that a couple times, but like I probably started that grind when I was at like level 10 and I was there until like 21, 22. I don't think that that's necessarily how you have to play the game now. I don't think it's ever how you had to play the game. But like I skipped over so many of the missions and like honestly I skipped lakes like or waterways entirely just because I was so consumed with leveling up and unlocking all of the different waterways and having access to them. I always told myself the whole time, it's like, oh, I'm just going to do this for now and then I'll go back and play the game. Do the missions later. But the missions help you so much along the way that you really shortchange yourself if you don't do the missions along the way. And then they're hard to go back and play later because you're not really getting any kind of reward that's like justifiable to you at the time. So I have no doubt in my mind that like we're going back on our main accounts now and doing a lot of the missions that we skipped over. I think what's going to happen as a result of that is we're going to find some places that we just kind of rush through that might end up being like some of our new favorite places to fish or new favorite like species to catch and things like that. Like I think I mean, in real life, one of the biggest things about fishing is having the patience to do it, right? A lot of it is
Yes.
knowledge and things like that, but it's called fishing for a reason, not catching, right? Like you're not guaranteed to catch anything when you go out. Now, some people have a better shot at catching than others just due to knowledge and knowing where certain spots are, knowing where that log in the water is, that kind of thing. but it's definitely one of those things where fishing is should be a relaxing pastime that you do, and you can definitely treat this game as such. So I think that's what I mean. The devs made this game to make money. Like that's not getting lost on me or anything like that. So, but we just wanted to show you guys that it can be done without spending a ton of money on this game. Our big purchase was around level 50. We bought some of the ocean packs and we started leveling, like using the ocean packs to level up. And I regret it now. I regret going and doing that because I think we got burnt out because we were so focused on leveling up.
Yeah, we took an extended period off from this game. This game is one of our mains for our live streams over on Twitch. But I will say one great thing about this game is there's so much in this game, and there's so many maps that you get that change of pace more often than not if you play the game the way it was meant to be played, as in level progressing through and doing the XP grind and going from map to map to map and doing the missions. Burnout should be limited. You may get to a point where you're like, I need to take a day or two off. That's normal. Getting to the point that we got to where we took almost a year off, probably about 8 months off from the game. And then we came back to almost a brand new game with the reworks of the lower levels, which,
Yeah,
in all honesty, was great for us because it gave us a new excitement and brought on this idea of doing these videos. So yeah, take your time, enjoy the game. That's the advice that we would give. And we understand this game's not for everyone. So if you're looking and searching for these videos, then this is a game that you want to learn, that you want to play. And we get that. So, and like we prefaced at the beginning of the video, this is our first one. So let us know how we're doing in the comments. Let us know things that we can do better, what you would like to see a little bit more in these videos. All right. We'll say one thing I do like that I learned is X being the caster pitch key
yeah,
and using Z to swap my baits.
yeah,
On the live bait side of things. Now, on the lure side of things, I'm not going to like it so much because that's going to be more of a specific, like go and get a specific bait. But as far as on the live bait side of things, setting it up is pretty great.
yeah. Especially if you're doing your due diligence on like managing your tackle box and stuff like that, not letting it get
Yes.
just overly crowded.
On these, so in the lower levels, like if you come hang out with us over on Twitch and see our main accounts, our backpacks are ridiculous. And this has almost made me want to go back and spend time building different backpacks for different level like areas that we're fishing and doing the rod builds for that. Right now, I just kind of willy-nilly rod build and
Yeah, I think I forget
build it.
too that we have templates that we can use.
Yes. Which is something that can be shown off and things like that.
Oh, that's a big crappie.
I will say one nice
Oh,
thing.
my fish hut's full.
Oh no.
This is a pretty big fish.
That is a pretty big fish. Oh, I like this little guide that we have. It's going to be so. We are going to put a couple guides down in the description. Not necessarily guides, but little spreadsheets. I'm probably going to put two different versions. We are going to have an Excel version and a Google Sheets version. So that way it's easily accessible for everybody. But I will venture to say they will be beneficial. It'll at least let you what rig build for each level is used, and then there's also a fish guide that's going to give you the fish for each lake, what type of rod setup, and the different baits that it takes for baits and lures that are used for that fish, and then your hook sizes and your line sizes, and whether or not you need leaders, things like that. So they are nice little in-depth items. And there's even a hook and line guide. So like your hook ranges, it'll tell you the type of fish that are in the game and what you're going to use those size hooks for. And same thing with the line classes, which is great. And then there's the bait locker on what to pack. So it's a pretty cool little setup there. Now, if you do not have Excel, Excel is free, but Google Sheets is free as well. What happened to my? Oh, I'm out of red worms. So I've got to spend some money on red worms, which is fine. Then I have to go into my inventory and set it up.
It's nice to be able to fight some of these fish again.
Yeah, it's pretty great, especially on the lower level gear. It's a good time.
You want to? I don't want to get too far ahead of the level curve.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it here, and then, well, so the big thing with that getting too far ahead of the level curve, we're finishing the missions, which is really gonna bump us up. Like I'm level 6 right now.
Yeah, I'm level 6 right now.
And it's like I'm finishing up the event mission. The only thing I got left on the was the chain pickerel.
That's what I'm on as well.
And then I'm done with all the missions.
You got the catfish and the buffalo?
Yeah. Yep. I'll share the marks with you. And then to catch those two, you're going to go pet food
On the longest leader you can.
Yep, on 98 inches. So we're going to share. Share. And cast right at the marker. And if you're watching on YouTube, pause it, look at where those marks are, and go ahead and mark them. Like, that's what they're there for. They are going to benefit you. Your marks may not be 100% accurate, but we can kind of hover over it and let you see the coordinates there, and then you can try to match it up as close as possible to those coordinates. So yeah, even though you didn't get to see us finish all the missions here at Lone Star in this video, we gave you a pretty great overview of what to do and how to get started, and just the things to look for and things to think about as far as if you're playing free to play. Do I want to save my money and be able to travel to the bigger lakes, buy the better gear, buy the higher end keep nets and things like that? Do I need to go spend the money on this rod and reel when the one that I have does the job? Because once you get into it and start looking at the different rods and the different reels, you'll see a 0.5 pound difference in things. There won't be major differences until you get into the higher level stuff in the rods and reels, as far as max drag, line weight, things like that. So just keep that in mind when you're playing the game. and doing the no money free to play XP grind as far as like IRL spending. But so that's going to conclude this video for Lone Star and the beginning missions of Fishing Planet, the startup. Our next video is going to be for Lesney Via Fishery, which is going to teach us how to do feeder rods. We're going to catch a lot of fish that you haven't seen here. There will be some perch,
a lot of carp,
common ruds, roaches, different little fish. They are smaller fish. There are some decent sized fish on that map, which are going to be your carp and things like that. But that's going to be a do the missions, kind of a quick video. It's a decent little map, but it'll go a little bit quicker than Lone Star. There's a lot more depth on Lone Star now than there is on the Lesney Via. They added a couple new things there, better graphics. It looks a lot better than it used to. So we actually might combine that the next episode with Lesney Via and Mudwater to give us the perfect video length there for enjoyment. So yeah, thank y'all for coming and spending time with us, taking your time and watching this video. And
yeah, I mean, if these tips, this little walkthrough helped you out, or you just liked hanging out with us, hit that like and subscribe button. That when we episode 2, you'll be notified. And then also do the typical YouTube thing at the bottom here. Comment your platform, your current level, and if you want us to test any early game setups, let us know. Because honestly, the more that you guys engage in the comments and things like that, the more direction it gives us when we're making the next few videos and things. So we're new at this, just like you might be to Fishing Planet, and we want to help out as much as we can. And yeah, we'll just go from there. We'll see how it goes. As always,
rub-a-dub-dub.
Thanks for hanging in the tub.
Bye, y'all.
See you guys.